YouTube. She picks up pretty cleanly. I like that. Well, that works.
Fucking shredder.
Who's leading this in? Me or you? Me? All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 0, the preliminary episode of the SINcast. SIN stands for Subconscious INtellect. And if you aren't yet sick of me, then hopefully you aren't sick of this guy either.
No, you won't be sick of me.
I'm joined by Brandon as well. Brandon, how's it going?
Oh, it's the SINcast. It's going fine. We'll take turns leading off.
Are you gonna talk in this?
We'll take turns leading off the intros.
All right.
This will be our darker podcast.
Okay. So for anyone that
more menacing.
See, my voice is way too
this
light.
This podcast will be menacing and deep.
My voice is way too light and flamboyant for this show.
Oh my God, I have problems. Jesus. No.
They fucked up my latte.
If you have something, you want to come on and talk about, please join us. It's a roundtable discussion about things that bother you, things you wonder about, things that go bump in the night.
Things that go bump in your head.
Things do go bump in my head. The monsters are scratching to get out.
So for anybody who is wondering where this came from,
refer to episode 7 of Sonics and Sabers, where I inquire as to the nature of our existence, and I ask Nate his feelings on death and purpose. He laughs.
I do.
He's afraid.
And how appropriate is it that we're staring at a picture of Kylo Ren too?
Let's get emo, shall we?
Stop rubbing my... But it's menacing. I'm rubbing my hands together. The wife says, stop rubbing my hands together. Oh, you can probably hear it, can't you? Yeah, that's probably why she's saying stop. That was kind of loud.
Yep.
I turned up the gain. You don't need to swallow the microphone.
I do, though. I need that breathy voice. Anyway. So this podcast, we're going to talk about things that bother us, things we wonder, everything I just said before in a more
menacing,
scary voice. So tell me, episode 0, what are we looking at here? 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes?
I don't know. What do you want to bitch about tonight?
Why don't we talk about people who stick their noses in other people's business?
Let's do that.
I'm not one for drama, and I'm not going to mention any names, but you people who are empty in your lives and have nothing else to do but judge and pick and choose the information that you find relevant and use that to your gain, I guess. I don't know what you're gaining out of it. It's not bothering me. Oh, obviously it bothers me a little bit, but it bothers me when you bring my friends into it. You can say whatever you want about me and think whatever you want, but don't bring my friends into it when they have nothing to do with it. And you people sit there and tell me how I make poor choices in my friends and that they're terrible people. Meanwhile, they have said nothing and done nothing to you. And I'm supposed to be simple-minded enough to buy into the fact that I'm making a wrong choice in who I spend my time with? Obviously I am, in spending my time with you people, not my real friends. As you fill your vape, tell me, am I wrong?
No, excuse me. No, not at all. It's sorry, the congestion's kind of running through the Ward household.
You're afraid.
No, No, I mean, it really comes
You're
down
down
to...
with the sickness.
that was horrible. Never prompt me to do that again. But no, it comes down to people... I used to do it.
I know you used to do it.
I used to be very judging.
But now...
I used to be very...
The difference is that I can call you on your bullshit, and you can accept the fact that, yeah, you're full of shit. And you're kind of an asshole sometimes.
But there's also that I don't do it as much as I used to.
Well, that's my point.
I don't...
You have the peace of mind.
Hey, Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. Welcome to Sincast. You have the presence of mind. That's what I want. You have the presence of mind to realize what you're doing. And now, you do it, but you do it purposefully to get a rise out of people. You're not so small-minded that you're just doing it because you have nothing else in your life to do.
Right.
When you have nothing but a cell phone and TV and other people's bullshit fucking drama to talk about, I feel like I'm 19. This is all stuff that should be wiped from my life.
Exactly. It's interesting that you say that because that is something that you do when you're 19. We spoke in text a little bit before we met up tonight, which is kind of what led to us doing this evening. And it's self-justification. It's, you bitch and you whine and you complain, and it's like, you throw spaghetti at the wall and you hope some of it sticks. And you try to find other people with that same pile of spaghetti and the same wall, and you do that so you feel better about yourself. And it's something that we do naturally as human beings. It's why, to take it away from the negativity so much, it's why country music is so prevalent, modern pop country. Because when people are upset or people are sad or people got broken up with or their dog died or their truck broke down or whatever, they justify that within music. They find music they can relate to so they can not feel alone in their opinion. Well, this is kind of the same idea, only in a really perverse way, in that it's like, well, I would hope for this person's sake that they realize that they're being completely unnecessarily bitchy, I guess.
Cunty. Let me ask you this real quick. You mentioned music.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Do you listen to music for the music or the lyrics or both?
It depends on the genre.
The people that tell me they listen to music for the music can fuck off, man. I need some fucking lyrics that mean something. Hence the John Prine and all of that. Go ahead.
Right. It depends on the genre. Like, again, if I'm gaming, I'll throw on a little bit of dubstep or something because it's fun with gaming, and I already have...
Mood music is different.
Right. I already have a contextual storyline within the game I'm playing.
Right. But if you need emotional healing, I'm not looking for... Right. I'm looking for somebody with some deep fucking lyrics. But anyway, back to your point.
But yeah, so no, that's my point, is that you try and self-justify, and it's... I used to do it when I was fucking 15, I think everybody did it at one point in their life before they grew up and became an adult. But once you're in your 30s, or at least for most people, maybe even in your mid-20s, you stop doing that. It's part of becoming who you are. It's part of becoming an adult that's reasonable. You don't... I guess, yeah, you find people you relate to. So if you're just going to be like a drama-filled bitch and you want to associate with other drama-filled bitches, then by all means, be whiny, cranky, panties in a bunch. You said it first, so I'll say it, cunts. But don't expect people to appreciate you. And for fuck's sakes, don't depreciate somebody else who follows their passion and has found their passion. And I don't know. It's hard to go into too much detail without revealing identities, but
you heard it first, drama bitches. Fuck right off.
You know
what else pisses me off?
Hold on, and let me try and function this.
Well, so you function it. Work it out.
So you've got John, okay? And John's
a dick.
No, John's a nice guy. But John
well,
can be a dick to entertain other people. Because he likes getting a rise out of people. We're talking about John.
John?
And John owns a podcast studio.
All right, John.
And he loves podcasting, and he does a bunch of shows. and he enjoys it. And John has an understanding wife who realizes that he's passionate about podcasting.
Oh, that John. Yeah,
And-
John's an okay guy.
And allows him the time to podcast. And John has this buddy.
Ned.
We'll call him Ray.
Ned.
Ned. Okay, we'll call him Ned.
I like Ned.
And Ned,
Came on to me once, though. Kind of weird.
one of those self-reflecting moments. So Ned loves podcasting, and Ned became a fan of John's podcasts, and John extended an invite and said, hey, we have some history. John and Ned, funny enough, their dads are both gay.
Well, gay dads. That explains why Ned came on to me.
And but so John was like, hey, we should do some podcasts together. And it rekindles a friendship, and they have a lot of fun doing podcasts together. But unfortunately for Ned, unlike John, Ned is not so fortunate to have a partner who is understanding.
Ned wasn't true to himself. Ned needed to be free.
Yeah. So, and instead of being supportive and understanding and hell, even being like, wow, I mean, I thought John was an asshole, but he's helping you out. He's introducing you to podcasting. He's opening your world to these opportunities. But that's awesome. I guess my opinions of John were wrong. No, instead,
John's still kind of a dick. But
well, yeah, but that's just part of John. And you gotta love John for John. So
John's gonna get his dick ripped off.
But anyway, but instead of doing that, Ned's partner reinforces their position and is like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if you enjoy it. I don't give a fuck if you have fun. And just no, like, fuck you. And it's like, where the fuck do you come off? Like, that's one thing. It just, I don't get it. Like,
I think I can speak to this a little bit
Go
with
ahead.
experience. People who
now I'm getting. It's not even fucking. Go ahead.
It's people that want to steal joy. Anything that you enjoy makes somebody else miserable because they're miserable.
Right.
So they have to take time out of their day to make sure that you're miserable too, and make sure that that anything that you're doing that you might get enjoyment of that takes time away from them and I'm not going to say control, but I'm going to say control of you, makes them scared and pisses them off. And that leads me right into women who use sex for power. They withhold it, and then when you do get it, it is a vehicle for guilt. So all of a sudden, the time of the month has come, and not the bloody time. The one time where you might actually get some play. That time has come around, and somebody's very forthcoming with the love until it's done, and then it's, oh, well, you're using me, and we can't have that. Oh no. Well, how do you figure that Ned is using anyone when Ned lives a life of celibacy until somebody else is ready to let him not be celibate anymore, and then you guilt him for it? You think that's not going to fuck a person up? So, women, men, anyone who does that, worst kind of person. Worst kind of person. And Ned's all done.
It's about time that Ned's done.
Ned's had enough.
Now Ned and John can hang out and have a few beers and record podcasts and
be like their dads.
Be like their dads. But no, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, you dredge your life away. I'll make this personal about myself for a moment. When I got home this evening, I spoke with my wife, who's in the chat room. Hello, sweetie.
Hello, sweetie.
Hello, sweetie.
Sweetie.
And I was like, you know what? I give you shit, but you're awesome. You put up with my podcasting, you put up with my gaming because you know how much I love it. Like, we're having our movie event at Cinemagic this Saturday, and she understands that she can't go because we've got kids at home. But she's like, go, have fun, have a good time. And while it may not be all of her that wants to say that, she understands that we're going and we're having a good time and we're going to have fun and it's for the studio, and she supports that. I don't think Ned's significant other would be as forthcoming.
No, I think Ned's fucked right in the ass for the most part on that. And you know what's funny about Ned? He's a nice guy. Nice guy.
He apparently likes getting fucked in the ass.
He's a glutton for punishment. He's addicted to misery. Nice guy. Like I said, I love Ned right to death.
Hello, new third viewer. You haven't chatted yet, so I don't know who you are, but welcome to the Sincast.
Third viewer, speak up. Anyway, Ned, nice guy. Love him. Known him for years. Known him my whole life. Stupid motherfucker, though. Tends to repeat history over and over and over again with every girlfriend he's ever had. Over and over. Especially the
and
most...
over and over.
Especially the most recent one. A decade. Together. Not together. Recycling. Over and over into the same problems.
You know,
sounds like Ned's a little bit insane.
You know what's funny about
Ned
that?
doesn't know what to do when he's happy, though. Ned is afraid...
Of happiness.
Of happiness. He doesn't know what to do when there's no arguments to be had and things are fine. God forbid Ned gets along with a girl. He doesn't know how to handle that. It frightens Ned. Ned runs away. It's dirty.
Oh, hey, Dirty Steve.
Dirty Steve.
We need him on this show.
I know. I told him that. That is my cousin. Again, Dirty Steve. And he has his own podcast yet. That which
I love that his initials
yet,
are SS. His pod. If he does a podcast, it should totally be the SS cast.
I don't think that he would be against that because I think one of his topics was Mein Kampf at one point.
Oh, lovely.
I wish that he would get his material to us. I know he's been in a funk lately, but Steve.
It's okay.
Two things, Steve. Join us on the Sincast and get your own shit down here so we can put it out.
Indeed.
And tell me your thoughts.
I
know. So Steve and I had a conversation last night about that episode of Sonics and Sabers and walking on that knife's edge near the abyss and the fear of falling into, well, I took it as insanity. So you get too deep, right, into that rage, and you walk that line on the edge, and it's very easy to fall into that abyss of rage. And that's what this podcast is for. It's for us to walk the edge and try not to fall in. I know in my family, mental health has been an issue. So it's always a gamble, you know, how far do you want to take it? But, I mean, that's me. I don't know about you. You seem sociopathic in ways, so maybe your sanity is at risk. I don't know.
I do?
Yeah.
How do I seem sociopathic?
How do you not? Everything about you is sociopathic. In a good way. I like it.
I like to call it selective sociopathic. Because think about it. A sociopath wouldn't be able to love a husband or wife. A sociopath wouldn't be able to love their children or love their friends. So there's an overarching layer of bullshit that coats everybody that I get sick of after a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I fucking hate it when people have an opinion, as do I, but people have an opinion and they want to argue that opinion, but they can't argue it. You find this in politics, you find it in religion, you find it basically you find it in just about every conversation that's like the nixed off shit to talk about, because nobody knows how to back themselves up. Oh, I support this guy. Why? Oh, I believe in God. Why? Oh, because my parents raised me that way. Good. Well, there are white people that hate black people because their parents raised them that way. Like, does that make any fucking sense? Like, I hate people who can't back up themselves. And again, tying this all back to one of the first, just annoyances that we talked about on this episode. It's self-justification. Political people align themselves with other people who feel the same way, so they feel justified. Religious people align themselves with people who believe in the same religion, so they feel justified. And racist people align themselves with other racist people, so they feel justified. It's mob mentality. It's a poor excuse to be a fucking douchebag, no matter what topic you're talking about. And it's one of our biggest weaknesses. Any one of us is capable of building a computer or programming software or becoming a doctor or a lawyer. I truly believe that, unless you have a diagnosed mental handicap, which even then it's still possible. Every one of us has the potential to do that. It just requires a little bit more effort for some than others. But once you get into that mob mentality, everyone just becomes fucking stupid. And again, this ties back to why Ned's significant other tries to find more of their friends to be like, hey, do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Oh, you do? Okay, well, let's both gang up. Oh, you don't agree with me? Well, fuck you that you don't agree with me. I'm going to find somebody else who does.
It's always been the way, and it's always been issues for Ned the entire time. If not what Ned's going through now, something else, and some other friend, always. I see in the chat room, Cousin Steve raises his hand. Tell us, Steve. And while there's a delay, I also want to ask the chat room, if any of you have any issues you'd like to throw out that you'd like us to address, by all means. And Steve, if you want to Skype in at any point, maybe not tonight, maybe not tomorrow, but anytime you can and your internet connection will allow for it, please join us.
Yeah, or it might not even be an internet connection. I might be able, you know what? This is episode 0. This is a time to try something, right?
This is a time for fucking around.
Right. I'm going to see if I can get... Steve has a phone, right?
Yep. Steve, we may be calling you.
What is Steve's number?
Mind the dead air while we have a technical
Your
experiment.
call is free.
Steven, incoming. Oh, that's sexy. Why haven't we done that before?
I didn't realize I could.
And that'll get recorded?
This is all getting recorded. I wish I could turn it down a little bit.
I see volume.
Hello.
Hello, Steve.
Steven.
Going on?
You're on Sincast.
You are the first call in.
Go.
Oh, right. Do I win a prize?
Yeah, you can talk with us.
Oh, jeez. I'm on.
You guys talk. I'm gonna try and figure out how to turn him down a little bit because he's kind of loud.
Right there.
It's right where? This?
Is that not?
I tried
is that signal?
That's quality.
Well, that's too bad.
I tend to have no volume control, so.
It's all good. Keep going. You're good.
By all means, Steven. Even the mic that's crossed out's not gonna do it, huh?
No, that will mute him. That will mute us to him. Yeah.
Weird.
Whatever. It's fine.
All right, Steve. You're on.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I just want to say, you brought up the mind comp thing. I don't, take that to heart, but if you actually read that, it's pretty interesting. It's, the best first-hand account of World War I you'll ever read.
Now, let me ask you this.
So,
I believe that Mein Kampf was written while Hitler was in prison, and he was illiterate, so he had to pay other inmates to write it.
For him.
He ghost wrote that book, yes?
Yeah.
Give me a basic synopsis of that book.
Well,
give me the core values of the SS High Command.
Well, it really doesn't get into that. It was more it's pretty interesting because he started off as a soldier in World War I, and he survived a shitload of campaigns. And then basically what happened was the reason he inflicted all his hate towards the Jews, but it started off with the communists. And for a long time, he didn't have a problem with Jewish people at all until he decided that I think that became his scapegoat. But because he saw that as a common thread behind all the communist uprisings. but he actually was trying to save his country from communism.
Through
Because
killing the Jews.
Well, not through killing the Jews, no. Like, he actually was trying to stop, because the government got overthrown. Like, imagine if you, like, fought a war, lost, and your government got overthrown. Like, say America got overthrown, and then you see a communist government rise up, and you're just, the war's over, and you're like, great. That was what happened, because they had the, I can't remember what it's called, like, the fucking Bavarian something.
Right.
And or the Weimar Republic. The Weimar Republic. And
right.
It lasted for like 2 years.
I'm vaguely familiar with that. Now, before they put him in prison, isn't the reason he went in prison because he tried to take over at gunpoint and make them vote him in? Something along those lines?
He did that after, and it worked.
I see.
Stop hitting the phone numpad with your cheek.
Who, me?
Yeah, you keep hitting it.
Oh, wow. It doesn't show up.
Yeah, we can definitely hear it.
It's all good.
But it's amazing. Your quality just got way better all of a sudden, so.
Oh, really? Well, I have pretty crazy quality because I live out in sticks. But anyway, like, just in defense of it, it's a pretty fascinating account of the time period because you don't hear anything about World War I.
Not much, no.
And personally, I had to know because it seems to be the catalyst for, like, the entire century.
Right.
So I read the whole book, and really some of his theories on making a state, I mean, he was evil as hell, but he was a fucking brilliant guy.
Take us deeper.
Well, his theories on, like, how you basically, when you run out of land, you have, like, 3 options. You can either start colonies, you can start wars, or you can enslave your own people. And he's kind of right. It just basics.
Well, as society falls away, that's what's always going to happen.
Right. So right. I have a question for Steve, not pertaining to Mein Kampf.
I'm going to get another beer.
By all means, can you grab me one?
Yes.
All right. So Steve, here's my question for you. As somebody who, this one's still going. I just want one for when it's gone. You, in the chat room before we called you, you said you raised your hand for diagnosed mental handicap.
Yeah, I'm bipolar.
So I want your opinion on the people trying to align themselves with other people for the sake of self-justification so they can self-validate themselves when they kind of know they're full of shit, but they push everybody away that doesn't agree with them, and they keep a small sect of people that do, just to validate their own ignorant opinions.
Well, that's just human nature, isn't it? I mean, you want to believe what you want to believe, regardless of whether or not it's right. So when you get in a situation where somebody tells you you're dead wrong, I think people have a very fragile worldview, and they look around, and it gets constructed throughout your childhood and your early adulthood, and then when something challenges what you believe, you lash out at it. And the only way to really reinforce it is to find people who pretty much believe the same or similar things and form groups. I mean, that's kind of the basis of humans forming groups in the first place.
Right. Kind of goes back to like the gang mentality.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but this takes me back to the other day when I said all of that society, all of that is just to compensate for fear of death, and it doesn't mean a fucking thing.
Well, no, I was asking him his opinion on self-validation and self-justification by pushing away those that think differently and only keeping those that follow your train of thought near you. So he was expressing his opinion on that train of thought.
I see. I follow no train of thought.
See, I don't disagree that it's a form of human nature, but I guess maybe I kind of break that mold a little bit because I personally enjoy having people who think differently around me. Because I mean, one, my way of thought is quite fucked up to begin with, but to me, it's enjoyable is the way that would have been said correctly if I wasn't fucking stupid. And because I like that. But again, that is with the understanding or with the assumption that that comes with intelligent discussion. I like to sit and debate with somebody, not argue, not fight, but debate intelligently with reason about, okay, you want to vote for this person, I want to vote for that person, okay, or well, you believe in this, I don't, I believe in this. And I love to have those debates. You know, and I've met.
Where do you find these people?
What's that?
Where do you find these people? I mean,
in the cracks. They're very few and far between.
See, this is what I said, Steve. Up there, you're falling into the gray area. You need to come here,
yeah,
where the internet connection is better, and there's more of us that are like-minded, like me. You know me, like you, brother.
Yeah, it's bad here. There's one way of thinking, and if you don't fall into that way of thinking, you kind of find yourself in a situation where you're a social outcast. Like me, I fucking, you know, I worked in a mill for a year and a half, and like it was all about time in and, you know, pretending you're a bigger redneck than the other guy, and it just, you know, you'd go to work every day, and it was like being in high school, and it was just, I mean, that's the mode of life here. How big is your truck, and how loud is it, and
can you fuck your cousin?
Yeah, and then be proud of it.
You laugh.
And get sad when she leaves you.
But that's true. It's so true.
It's funny when he mentions that. It makes me like when he says, "How big is your truck?" All I can think of is
Cool Ethan.
no. Well, yeah. Well, no, he doesn't have the truck anymore.
I know.
He's matured. No, that line from the Stephen Lynch song "Tennessee," when he says, "We can hang out in the flat. We can hang out in my flatbed pickup truck. It's where the classy ladies fuck in Tennessee." And I think that works for Northern Maine too.
It works in Portland, Maine. I fucked in the bed of the truck. I know. Steve, take us to the edge, man. We're gonna wrap this up in 15 minutes. Go deep. Go hard.
Well, where do you want to go? Because I can take you pretty far.
I want pebbles to be falling over the edge. I want to be unsure of my balance. I want to be afraid.
When he says, "Where do you want to go?" Because I can think you prefer instantly. Pure imagination from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory popped in my head.
The snozberries taste like
With
snozberries.
me, and you'll be.
And the rowers keep on rowing.
Of pure imagination.
There's surely no way of knowing.
I love that song. I just sang on a podcast. What the fuck?
It's not the first time.
That's the first time I actually harmonized.
Well, it's not the last time.
Probably.
Well, maybe you guys should form a doo-wop group.
Are you gonna be in it with us? We're gonna
Yeah,
be like
well, yeah, I do the bass.
We're gonna do
Speaking of with us,
a barbershop quartet.
do you have a means of getting to the Portland area this Saturday?
Not financially.
Damn.
How
How far away is he?
8,
8 hours?
give or take.
Oh fuck! All right, never mind.
Yeah, isn't that the worst? Like, we live in the same state, and it's like, no.
Opposite ends.
That's the problem with this country. This country is just fucking huge. I mean, we have states that are larger than other countries.
Yeah, I know. In Europe, you could fucking cross 3 border lines by the time you cross the state of Maine.
That's the amazing
Right.
thing I don't think a lot of people realize is that you can literally drive all of those countries.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they know you can drive them, but like within hours, it's not crossing the U.S. at all.
Right. Like if we were to drive from here to New York City, like if that was Europe, we
New
would,
York
like-
City.
But it's yeah.
No, that's like a fucking 5-hour journey. It's not that bad.
The states are like its people. They're large. This beer is gonna taste really bitter after my root beer.
Fucking A. Steven,
Yeah.
honestly, to the edge.
Yeah. So you've
Caught
been.
me unprepared.
What did you say?
I said you caught me unprepared. I'm trying to get off the edge.
No, I know you need to.
Well, you don't need to-
I know you need to. It just needs to happen organically. I understand that, but let me put it to you a different way. What's going on in your life right now that is grinding your gears? To quote Peter Griffin.
What is going on that's making you consider doing something sinful?
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh,
now we're getting
boy.
crazy.
Well, it is the sin cast. I guess that could be kind of our catch. What is making you considering doing something sinful?
Repent, my son. How many times have you jerked off today?
We don't need to
Two.
know that. Don't answer that question.
I'm on 3.
But
I work
no,
today. I'm behind in the
I'll
count.
tell you what's driving my gears. I fucking live in northern fucking hillbilly Crackville. I don't fit in. I've maxed out my credit card today. Fucking, I don't know, just a lot of things, but I guess it's not really like, I don't really want to get into a giant rant. So.
You know what's really grinding my
I was
gears right
about
now?
to do that. Go ahead.
Is your fucking cheek on your fucking dial tone.
Are you on a
I'm
smartphone?
not on my dial tone.
It's beeping
I have
like a
this on
mother.
speakerphone.
It's crazy, dude. It's
Something
beeping.
keeps beeping. Yeah.
You got spirits.
It could be a Google voice.
New riders are coming
All
back,
right.
baby.
Well, hold
I'll
on.
tell you a little edge thing. You remember?
All
Did
right.
I ever tell you about how, speaking of the spirit,
Spirit world,
Brandon,
asshole.
did I
They
ever
can't
tell
see
you
us.
about how my stereo used to turn itself on in the middle of the night and fucking my heater, and it would always play Godsmack at like 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Nothing
and my
wrong
heater
with
would be on,
God.
and I'd wake up and think I was like in hell.
Nothing wrong with Godsmack at 3 in the morning.
Yeah, you've told me. Tell
I
the
know,
audience.
but it was. Trust me, when you're laying there asleep and you have everything off, and then you wake up and friggin' Bad Religion starts playing, and it's like 200 degrees in your room.
Kick back.
Yeah, it's not a pleasant way to wake up.
Do you know what that song is about? That might be your subliminal consciousness, your subconscious intellect trying to tell you something. I don't know if it's going to strike a nerve, but do you know what Bad Religion is about?
It's not going to strike a nerve.
Do you know what it's about?
It's a contradiction.
Well, no.
Bad Religion for a broken nation.
Bad religion is about abortion.
Is it really?
Yes.
I never looked up anything.
Go ahead and now that you know that, YouTube it and listen to it and listen to the lyrics. It's about abortion.
It is about abortion. This is true.
In the same way that voodoo is all about doing heroin.
Yeah, well, I got that reference.
Right. And I believe, if I recall, it was either because he had a girlfriend and he got her pregnant and she had an abortion without his knowledge and it upset him, or it was about a sibling. It was one or the other. I know there are two rock and roll frontmen that both have one of those stories. I just don't remember which one is Sully's. It was either a sibling that was aborted that he hated his parents for doing because he was old enough to recall it, or it was a girlfriend who got pregnant. Again, both of those are true for different frontmen. I just don't remember which one's which.
Yeah, that's fucked up to think about, though, because I actually like in my family, there's a middle child that there's supposedly was aborted.
Right. I was
In your immediate family?
Yeah, like I should have a brother or sister in between me and Eric.
Really?
I was almost aborted.
Via what, Rick? No, it would have been before
No,
Ronnie,
it was
right?
by Dana. It was by Dana.
Oh, well, there's your
Name
answer.
dropping.
There's your answer right there. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
there's
was
two versions.
almost.
The
It
other
was
version is
sketchy.
that he punched my mom in the stomach.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, I know. I've heard all these tales.
Man, we're just pulling back the curtain on episode 0, aren't we?
Guys,
Sometimes you got to.
yeah.
He told me to take it to the edge.
Hey, take it to the edge.
You know, I wish you were at the wedding on New Year's last year so that you could have seen what a fool he had made of himself.
Yeah, I heard he came in there dressed in like a friggin' sweatsuit or something.
Yeah, he did. He had a fucking tracksuit on. He's hammered. He's trying to dance with your mother. Speaking of which, at midnight, your mother, my aunt, we danced up a fucking storm. Some T-Rex at midnight, baby. Fuck yeah. Jeepster. You have no words, do you?
I believe it. That's all I
Fucking
can say.
buttons. Oh, jeez. All right. Well,
We're gonna wrap this up, Steven.
yeah.
So
we have
thank you for joining
a
us.
little less than 10 minutes to go here. So
Take solace in the fact that now you have an out. Anytime you need to vent, talk to people who are more in line with you, you can join us here on Sincast.
indeed.
Welcome to
So
the Thunderdome.
Welcome to the
Exactly.
Thunderdome, bitch.
Welcome to hell, asshole.
All right, Steve, thanks for allowing us to call you, and thanks for partaking, and I'm sure we will speak to you sooner than later.
Go then. There are other worlds than these.
Have a good night, sir.
All right.
Hanging up.
Peace
Goodbye.
out.
So that was Cousin Steven. Thank you for joining us on episode 0 of Sincast. As we wind down here, I'm really glad that we've started this, and it gives me a place to vent and
This was a lot of fun.
ramble and really eat the mic and have that not so menacing voice.
G is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Wow. Wow. Steve, no.
trying to sound all metal.
I just... Metal! Steven! No, Steve just texted me and asked me if that was too much. No, that wasn't enough,
No, that
Steve.
was good, Steve.
It wasn't enough. I need you to go deeper. I know
Deeper, harder, faster, more passion.
moisture, Steven. Moist. I need it moist. I need a moist hole to fucking stick my mental dick in.
Seep throat the mic.
Now listen to me. I'm telling you, Steve.
Oh, do you want to hear a great Yoda impression that's all about microphones, dicks, and Yoda?
I do if you just hang on a second.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm still talking to my cousin on this podcast that he's not a part of anymore.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he thinks he said too much. He's so I am nothing compared to him. I wish that he would have gone further. When he gets going, it's sit back. You're in for a story. Anyway, that's all about Steven. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna listen to Yoda now. We're gonna lighten it up.
We're gonna lighten it up. Ready?
Microphone it is.
Hold on. That's kind of quiet. I have to turn it up. Hold on. Where's the pause button?
It is not.
Hold on.
Oh, how I wish it was.
Hold on.
Oh
All right.
boy,
All right, here we go.
what I've heard so far.
Microphone it is. It is not. But oh, how I wish it was.
Is that Yoda or George Takei? Oh my!
Oh my.
Oh my!
No, it was something that I recorded for Trivia Geeks last night because they asked me to. It's a long story.
Wait, so that was you?
That was me.
Let me hear that again.
Microphone it is. It is not. But oh, how I wish it was.
That's you?
That's me.
Really? That is a damn good
Yes.
Yoda impression.
Now I can't do it on the spot.
No. Well, you don't have a dick in your mouth either.
Me it was. Yoda it was not.
Wow. Why haven't we been utilizing your fucking Frank
Because
Oz
it has
skills?
to be really, really short sentences or I lose it and make
That's all right.
myself cough.
Well, it's okay. From now on. Now that I know. Anyway.
See, this will give away that it was me. I wish this microphone was a dick.
Wow. I missed a good time last night. Huh?
So the story behind that, I was a guest on Wolf King Studios Trivia Geeks last night, and Carrie Sims, who's been on Mind of a Geek, was one of the hosts on there, and she named her team "I Wish This Microphone Was a Dick," and she did that because she wanted to get the MC Sean to have to say that over and over and over again last night. So he Skyped me at like 9 o'clock and said, "Hey, can you record a couple different voices saying I wish this microphone was a dick?" And that way, whenever I have to say the name of her team, I can play the audio clip. And it worked out great because I ended up being on the show
Right.
on Carrie's team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Obviously, Ashley in the chat room, our virtual host, was part of that. In
Yeah,
spirit.
she hopped in and she hopped in the Twitch chat and hung out with us.
That's cool.
But
She
no.
really gets around, that fucking whore.
Ashley, are you going to be joining us Saturday evening for Batman vs Superman in good old shitty Saco, Maine?
Sacco, Maine,
Saco.
Batman, 10 p.m. show Saturday night.
We're going to be there probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and
Yeah, we'll
there's
be
a
there
lot of people going. I believe I sent you an invite on Facebook.
There it is.
So
We could wrap this up because I have to go to bed and fucking deliver milk. So I'm really glad that we started this. I think this is going to be good for me. Good for
yeah,
you.
this is fun.
Good for Ned. Good for John.
Yeah,
I like the redness of it all.
it's red. It's very red.
It is red, but
It reflects my Indian
it
heritage
falls in line with my ginger rage. It's great.
and my Native American redskin heritage.
I like the way it bounces off my head. I got a whole Ghost Rider thing going on.
Yeah, you do. And the red walls help.
My shiny forehead. I look like
Look,
an
and
apple.
we've got a red blood elf.
Doesn't that look
on
like
the
I have a
screen.
bandana on right now?
Yeah, kinda. It's very red.
I look like a Macintosh apple with a beard. Anyway, we want to thank you
Would that
for.
be a moldy apple?
I am a moldy.
Brandon
fucking-
the moldy apple.
I am a moldy fucking apple. Crabapple. That's what I am. Grumpy ass crabapple. Anyway, we want to thank you for joining us on episode 0 of Sincast. Nate,
Do my thing.
Take it away.
All right. So as Brandon said, thank you very much. We don't know when this is going to be recorded on the regular, or even if it is going to be recorded on the regular.
It probably would work best as an impromptu.
Yeah, it's probably going to be whatever is pissing us off, or if somebody writes in or calls in. That being said, I want to push that first and foremost on this show. If you have something that I don't have an email set up for this show yet. So for now, email inkedgeekstudios@gmail.com and put Sincast in the subject line. Your other option is to call us at area code 207-200-5590. Leave a voicemail and we will tell us what's bugging you. Be as vulgar and inappropriate as you want, as long as you're not hateful. If we feel that it fits the theme of the show for that evening or a particular evening, we'll play your voicemail. We'll talk about it. As you heard, Dirty Steve joined us a little while ago and hung out with us for about 15-20 minutes. So if you join us live, again, no set schedule yet, so your best way to join us live would be to go over to YouTube and go to youtube.com/inkedgeekstudios/live and subscribe and turn on the live notifications. And you may get a chance to come on the show live with us and hang out and vent and voice whatever is bugging the living fuck out of you on that particular evening.
That which is locked away and buried must be freed.
Right. There's no judgment on this show. There is no nothing. Just let it out.
Keep the cancer at bay
and
let out your stress. Say anything. Nothing is taboo. Nothing is off limits.
Right. And if you have something to say but you want to remain anonymous, email it in. Just let us know that you don't want your name said, and we will read it verbatim without mentioning a name.
Would we ever have the ability for these callers, if we have callers, to harmonize them? Alter their voice?
Harmonize them?
Mask their voice so they sound all deep.
Oh, like FB&H does?
Yeah, harmonize. Yeah.
What do they call it?
Harmonizer?
No, they call it something else.
No, they don't. It's harmonizer.
No, they call it something else.
Well, Jimbo and Jambo.
Jimbo, yeah.
Yeah, your voice is on a harmonizer, though. That's what it is.
Yeah. I can look into that.
All right.
If they want to call in as Jimbo.
Not to rip off that show.
No.
You'll be a Sinbo. That's what you'll be.
You'll be a Sinbo. I can look into that, and I will let people know if that's possible. But anyway, to wrap it all up, again, as Brandon said, thank you very much for joining us for episode 0. This will be on iTunes soon, which if you're hearing the audio version of this is probably how you're hearing it, so it's probably already there. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to comment. And yeah, go to inkedgeekstudios.com to check out the rest of our shows. Brandon and I can be found at Sonics and Sabers. We can be found on Mind of a Geek. We can be found on That Was Awesome. I can be found on Geek Access. Brandon's got another show, I think, in the works, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, more on that later?
Yeah.
All right.
My situation needs to change a bit, so I have the time.
Right. No, that's fine. But anyway, I think that's it, right?
Thank you.
Cool. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
I'm going to play a song now.
Cool. So for Brandon, for me, and for the rest of the studio.
And thanks, for Sincast.
And for Sincast. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you next time. I did that on purpose.
Oh my, what a wretched life. I was born on the day that my poor mama died. I was cut from her belly with a Stanley knife. My daddy did a jig with a drunk midwife. Who's that young girl in flames, dragging behind him a sack of chains? Who's that young girl in flames? For up jumped the devil and he staked his claim.
All right, that's done. Well, the audio's done. We're still on YouTube. So out of curiosity, Kat and Ashley, you guys are still there. You guys listened to everything. What did you guys think? Was that fun? Was it potential for a show?
Well, you never know what a real answer from those two is going to be because
No,
they're just going to jump at any opportunity to call us gay and make fun of us.
Right, make it a dick joke. Right, I know. But in all honesty, forget the dick jokes.
Well, don't forget the dick jokes.
Well, no, just
set the dick jokes
set
on
them
the shelf
aside.
for a second. Pause the dick jokes.
Pause the dick. And what do you think of the backdrop? What do you think of the mood, the setting? Opinions, thoughts, comments. Something quickly, because Brandon has to go to bed.
I'm waiting.
It's the delay.
I know.
You're small on the phone.
What?
She's probably
What does that
watching on her
even
phone.
mean?
Oh. It's okay. I might be small on the phone, but I'm huge in China.
I think that's probably funny. I'm not sure.
It's because people in China have small dicks.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't know if it's funny or not. I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I get the joke.
All right. Now I want to try something now that, well, we can log off YouTube. Cool. Thanks, guys. I don't need it. It's just YouTube. I don't need to tell you where we are. All right. Ashley, flag the invite on Facebook and let us know if you're going to be there or not. Unfortunately, the wifey won't be joining us. But talking about deep shit is fun and interesting. Yeah, being constipated is fun and interesting. Deep shit.
Yep. Spent some time in a hospital next to a guy who had a big problem with that.
Fun.
He was compacted and he did not care for it.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was
On the next Sincast.
It was a long
being
13 hours for me
constipated.
while he moaned and I got no sleep.
Yes, you will be watching us on Periscope. But all right, cool. I'm going. Bye bye.
Goodbye.